Okay, so I picked up this Cheetah watch off of Amazon, so I want to give you my impressions of it today. So you can see how this comes. It's got the plastic kind of on there. I'll have to take off and everything. It's got this butterfly clasp. So the actual band is stainless steel, and then the case for this is alloy though. But you can see here this clasp is actually pretty good quality. Gives a nice satisfying click there. And as I remove the screen protector here, the dial window on this is hard Lex. So it's basically hardened mineral glass. So it's not sapphire, but you know, it's going to resist some scratches and stuff. But overall, I love this blacked out look. You see really the only thing that's not black on this watch is that date window. So the case size on this is 42 millimeters. I think that's a really great size. You know, a lot of people like around that 40 millimeter size. My Casio Duro, for example, my dive watch, a lot of those are like 44 millimeters. So this falls kind of right in between that. I think this is a good size watch for most people. You know, even if your wrist is on the smaller side, I think universally this is a really good option for a lot of people. Another thing of note is it looks like the second hand hits all of the markers perfectly. So I was pretty impressed with that. Again, in this budget range, sometimes that's an area where, you know, there's some errors and it's not very reliable. This one actually hits all those and it looks pretty good. You see the back here, got the stainless steel back. Place side, it's alloy for the actual case, but the back part there that comes in contact is stainless steel. This is what the band looks like. The band is stainless steel. You see you got the push out pins that are on the side there, and I'll show you kind of how I resized this. You do have, this is a chronograph, so these buttons do actually work. It is functioning chronograph. So you can see right here, as that starts going on the top and the bottom, that upper right starts and stops it. So there's a stop right there. That bottom right then will reverse it back, and you can see it does go back to 0. I've had ones before that, you know, don't really line up perfectly. And so this one's fully functioning. It seems like it's working well. If you pull out once on the crown, that sets the date. So you can kind of see there how I'm able to scroll through that. Pulling out the second time all the way out allows you to do your time. So you can see now my minute and hour hand is moving around there. So yeah, very easy to set this up, you know, pretty user-friendly watch. You can see this does have on the dial there kind of that like sunburst effect. You see, so that's pretty neat too. Gives it a little bit of class. You can see how that light shines off it and the sheen. You could see too, you can remove the pins here if you wanted to change out the bracelet. Those are right there. This is 22 millimeters for the bracelet width there. Here's a close-up with some macro. You see kind of the texture on the chronograph dials there and that texture on the dial itself for that sunburst effect. You know, the date window there looks really nice too. There's the chronograph up close. You can see again, just close-up of that working, how that goes around and those ticking. And then again, if we reset that back to 0, both of them are looking pretty good there. But yeah, I really like the look of this watch up close. That blackout look is really cool. Here's a close-up of kind of that like Cheetah logo on it right here. This is basically, it says 5 ATM there. This is really supposed to just be like splash proof. So don't wear this really like in the shower. Don't swim with it. Things like that. Like it can withstand, you know, some rain and washing your hands and everything. But yeah, I'm a big fan of all the features for the budget you can get this with. I think quality wise, it looks pretty nice. So here's what this looks like on the wrist before I resized it. So I have about 6 3/4 of a wrist, and you see there's a little bit left over there. I've definitely had watches that have more space on that band. So if you have a really big wrist, you're just gonna have to see. This is what it looks like though, kind of on the wrist. I really like the look. Again, the full blackout look looks really nice, really stylish. Here I just wanted to show you a little bit of kind of the thickness of it. It's not super thin, but it's, you know, also not big and obnoxious. You can see on the band here, it tells you which way you have to push out the pins on these here. So I have my tool I used on this. So for me personally, when I went to size this watch, I was a little bit between the sizes, honestly. I took out 4 links at first, and that seemed good, and it was a little bit tight. So I went back to just 3 links out, and then that was like way too big and moving around all up and down my wrist. So I went back to the 4. I still feel like, you know, if there was an in-between, that'd be really nice. Like this strap does not have micro adjustments, you know, on some bands on the straps like this, right by the clasp, you would have a little micro adjustment where you can kind of just push in a pin and move it a little bit back and forth. And for a little bit finer adjustment, you could give just a little bit more room. So this watch does not have that, but I think for most people, you'll be able to find, you know, the fit that works best for you. But you can see, make sure you just, you know, push the pins out, just make sure it goes back through the same way it came out. And so here's what this looked like. This was with kind of the more snug fit. So it's definitely doable. It's just not probably the best fit for me. So yeah, overall, I think this is really great value for what this watch is and what you can get this for. And I really do like the look of this. I think it looks more expensive than it truly is. There's going to be an affiliate link for this watch if you want to buy this in the comments and in the description. Please like the video if you found this helpful, and make sure to subscribe so that you see the actual full review when it comes out and that video's done. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.